I want to start from the United States, where our correspondent in Washington, Maria Bird, put together a report from yesterday's trading in the markets.
Good morning, Emmy. Thursday was a great day for the U.S. stock market as the S&P 500 had a record-setting day. The S&P 500 was up at 0.6%, and the Dow Jones was also up at 0.1%, while the heavy tech Nasdaq led the day up at 0.8%. Many investors were glad to see these positive signs, as there might not be September interest rate hikes as once was speculated, as there appears to be a cooling in the U.S. inflation rate. These are all positive indicators that shows that the U.S. economy could be making a rebound.
Well, a rebound in the U.S. economy, I guess, will spill over to other parts of the world, Nigeria included, so we look forward to that. Thank you so much, Maria. And then to other stories, supertankers are going dark for longer to get oil through the Strait of Hormuz and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, doubling down on tactics honed in the earlier days of the war in Iran. And vessels carrying non-Iranian crude started turning off their transponders to avoid detection in the weeks following the start of the conflict in late February. At the time, they would typically go dark for just a few hours while transiting Hormuz, and it seems that's coming back. Indian state-owned refiners are rushing to procure spot crude unusually far in advance as Ukrainian attacks on Russian energy assets and a stalemate over the Strait of Hormuz make supplies increasingly uncertain. Processors, including Indian Oil Corporation and Hindustan Petroleum Corporation, have already tied up some supplies until October and are now seeking cargoes for as far ahead as November. This is according to traders in that area. And these companies are buying spot supplies just a month or two in advance, even before now. Still around India, our labor force is unlikely to face widespread job losses from artificial intelligence in India, though some positions in the services sector could be affected. This is according to Goldman Sachs Group Chief India Economist Santanu Sekputa. The impact will be limited compared to many other countries, according to him. He shared this in an interview, saying that the main reason is because the workforce is pretty large and a lot of them are in more mechanical or physical kind of tasks compared to artificial intelligence. In the UK, a go-to trade in the UK gilts market suggests investors are confident that Prime Minister Andy Burnham will stick to his pledge to keep government borrowing in check. With less than 3 months before his government's debut budget, asset swap spreads, a widely watched gauge of angst and bond supply, are holding steady. And that shows that investors are positioning for Burnham to keep his word, according to JP Morgan, which is one of the biggest market makers for UK rates. And then the yen strengthened amid growing speculation that the Bank of Japan may raise interest rates in the coming months. The Japanese currency gained as much as 0.2% to 159.15 per greenback on Friday, pulling away from the 160 mark being watched by traders for the risk that government will intervene to support the yen. And Swiss growth momentum surged to the fastest pace since 2021, highlighting the economy's resilience to higher energy costs and lingering trade uncertainty. Gross domestic product adjusted for large sports events rose 1.5% in the second quarter from the previous 3 months. This is according to flash estimates, and that's much higher than expected by analysts, which predicted expansion would slow to 0.3% from 0.4% at the start of the year. Many more whistleblowers have come forward with reports of misconduct at KPMG Australia, a parliamentary committee probing alleged client data leaks at the firm heard on this today, raising concerns about a broader pattern of wrongdoing. The scandal erupted in March following allegations made by an anonymous whistleblower that KPMG misused confidential client information to bid for audit contracts. Well, KPMG initially said the claims were unsubstantiated, but the firm's CEO, audit boss, and chairman have all resigned since then, and it's been confirmed that the misuse of internal documents by staff. At a parliamentary hearing in Canberra, Deborah O'Neill, a Labour Party senator who chairs the committee, said more people were now reporting similar conduct. And Apple Incorporated has trained a large language model specifically for the Chinese market with support from Alibaba. This has been reported today, marking a shift from the iPhone maker's earlier reliance on domestic third-party AI models in China. The move could give Apple greater control over its AI offerings in China as it prepares to roll out Apple Intelligence in the country while helping it navigate strict local regulations and growing competition from Chinese smartphone makers such as Huawei. And those are the global stories for now.